Hi, my name is Leora Wolff, and this Torah is brought to you by TorahExchange.com. So this week's Parashat Shoftim, tells us to establish judges. And the pasuk, the very first pasuk of the Parsha, is Shoftim v'shotrim titein lecha, b'chol sha'arecha asher Hashem Elokecha nosein lecha. So you shall appoint magistrates and officials for your tribes in all the settlements that the Lord, your God, is giving you. And we see throughout Jewish law and throughout the Parshios that din, shoftim, judges, and having a system of law is something very essential and integral to our faith. And to just delve into this a little bit further, there's a Mishnah in Pirkei Avos, Mishnah Yudches of Perek Aleph, that says, Al shloshet dvarim ha'olam kayam. There are three things that the world is established on: din, emes, and shalom. And then it's slightly interesting that this Mishnah, which says that these three things, din, emes, and shalom, is countered by the second Mishnah, Al shloshet dvarim ha'olam omed, that the world is stands on three things: al Torah, al avoda, v'al gmilos chasadim. Torah, the avoda of the Beis Hamikdash, and acts of chesed. So the question is, are these two contradictory mishnayos, or are they perhaps saying two slightly different things? And the Torah in Aleph Aleph of Dayanim brings Rabbeinu Yonah's commentary that Al Shloshet Dvarim Ha'olam Omed, that the three things that the world stands on, Torah, Avoda, and Gmilos Chasadim, is saying that those are the three things the world was created for the sake of, or bishvil, that these are three essential things for the world to exist. And the Nefesh HaChaim talks about that concept that the Torah is essential for the world's existence, and if Torah ceased to exist, the world would cease to exist. There's something about Torah that is a constant sustainer in the world. Now, kiyum, al shloshet dvarim ha'olam kayam, these three things that the world is established or sustained with, is slightly different than these three things that are essential pieces for the world to exist. So din, emes, and shalom are three things that the world needs in order to continue to run and function in an optimal way. And it's how we as people continue God's work in this world. And so din becomes, for example, if you have a car, there are certain things that are integral for the car to exist, like the engine and the wheels and all the parts. But then to keep it going, the maintenance of the car and the actions that keep the car in motion are a separate thing, and that would be the din, emes, and shalom. That din is what keeps the world stable and together. And when we're establishing shoftim, it's such an essential part of our existence, because law is what, and order, it literally creates order in this world, and takes our world from chaos, tohu vavohu, and brings us, the Torah gives us a structure and a way to live our lives in the most ideal way possible, and that's din and emes, that having judges sustains that leadership and that rulership and that justness in our world and in our society. And Rabbi Norman Lamb, Zachrono Livracha, once said that we prioritize emes over shalom. And that maybe the order of this Mishnah then, din, emes, and shalom, is really the order that din is the most essential in order to establish emes in the world. And hopefully that brings about shalom, that brings about peace. But at the very least, we need to have an order of judgment, even when it's hard, even in times where the din and the judgment seems to be counter to what we think is right, because that din ultimately brings a sense of truth and emes in the world, and that's really what we're here to do, and that's really the way we continue our avodas Hashem and bringing the Shekhinah and Hashem's godless into this world is by having a structural system of Shoftim, or just the concept of Jewish law being continued in our daily practices. And ultimately, we should be zochet to have din, have emes, and have shalom, and to see the gula b'mehir v'yameinu.